Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. In the last episode, we began our journey of uncorking the dormant water volcano known as Mount Spouts, hoping to bring back some much-needed rainwater to the world of Terra Florum, while also loosening Cursa's almighty grasp on the world as a whole. The only thing is, with the dark mass barricade over her stronghold, and a planet still in between us and our targets, what really is our plan once we finally do reach the next world of our journey? And how are we going to reach Cursa, knowing that she's fully ready and prepared for our arrival? Honestly, who knows? But let's definitely be honest here. We are definitely preparing to, well, finish off our main quest here in the world of Terra Florum. Because, let's be honest here, Dark Mess Tentacle, and, honestly, well, every time we mess with a Dark Mess Tentacle, things definitely seem to go back to normal. So with that being said, let's get right on into it, into Spout Forth, and begin, well, the beginning of the end of Terra Florum. And, well, let's be honest here, once we do officially, finish up with the Dark Mess Tentacle here, well, we can start finally actually cleaning up the real, dangerous, leftovers of the Dark Mess that Cursa's, well, Dark Mess Tentacles definitely like moving around, but destroy the Dark Mess Dam. Okay, where is it exactly? Also, hello, you got a heart on you. Are you also another healer? Okay, well, that's interesting. You already have 3 healers, but your name is Pulsar. I'm stuck here for now, but if you win this battle, I'm at your service. Okay, Pulsar, what do you do, though? But first you'll need to destroy the Dark Mess dams to get those famous waters of Mount Spout flowing again. To take them out, use those vials. You can get them from these containers. See you on the other side. Okay then. Interesting, so this is much different than the other, wall-based missions, where we had to, break through certain areas using, bomb-bombs. These are very, specific, concoctions made to destroy the Dark Mess walls. Interesting, okay. Well, first things first is definitely taking a look at what kind of enemies we're dealing with, and also see how many walls we're really dealing with. Because we have one over here, one all the way back there, and then one over here. So 2 of them are close to us, and one's very far away. And then we also want to make sure how many of these concoction areas are around on the map. It looks like they're all somewhat situated near each one of the dams, for what I can see here. But this one's kind of further away, so you can either obviously grab this one, or go from the middle area and hopefully bring this concoction over to the other one. Okay, so far I think I understand it. Although, it's definitely an interesting little map though, that's for sure. But I think we should be able to definitely do this. Okay, well obviously definitely set up turbocharge with the fact that there's so many monsters on map. So let's definitely prepare with that first. Honestly, other than that, let's see our range at the current moment. It looks like we can either go left over to where the lone wolf is over there, which may be a good idea. Although, can we make it up there? That's the real thing. Because the thing is, we obviously need to go left, for sure. But it looks like we might need to split up some of our allies a little bit in order to properly do this map. Okay, well, first things first is I think Edge can maybe deal with this side of the map by himself. Because obviously we do have Ethereal, so we should definitely take that into account. And see what we can actually do here. Didn't get a spark point back, which is a little unfortunate, but that doesn't really hurt us too badly. It could, it definitely could, but for the most part we should be able to work with that. I'm going to say what we could do here is along the lines of maybe sending in Rabbid Rosalina to do the last bit of a dash on that person right over there. And honestly, I think we can send Edge quite far on her own, I think. I'm definitely not sure if we really should do it this way, but I do think it might end up being pretty good if we do this way, just because you never honestly know with some enemies. So let's definitely pick up this little concoction here. If we were to throw this at an enemy, what does it actually do to the enemies? because we actually have no idea. Doesn't look like we can. We can instantly break that wall, though. That's interesting. Okay, then. So this concoction's, like, severely, like, poisonous to the dark mess. I'm surprised we haven't been using this since the beginning. It does make sense. They have druids in this area, based on what we learned about. So it makes a lot of sense. But still, though, it's definitely something you really do gotta think about. But, honestly, for the rest of our turn, I think the best thing we can possibly do is maybe sending Rosalina this way, maybe. Only thing is how many enemies are we really dealing with once we get over here? Not a lot. It looks like there is a depleter waiting for us. But for the most part, we should be pretty safe. Okay. Well, it doesn't look too bad, but looks can definitely be deceiving sometimes. It does look like we're going to need to, obviously, take a little bit of a jump panel, just to get the extra range of what we'll end up needing. But hopefully we can test the theory of how much damage this does to the big walls. It does indeed instantly break them. Okay, well, let's definitely get rid of that then. Okay, one wall done. And now we just need to deal with the rest of them. So by destroying these walls, what does that exactly do for us? It looks like it's definitely helping the water flow a little bit better. That's for sure. Other than that, who knows? But I definitely say definitely get rid of Mr. Lone Wolf before he starts villain-sighting us and making it a little bit harder for us. And then honestly, let's see if we can maybe go ethereal here. Being invisible right now with his other vial may be a good idea. We could drop that on that. I kind of like the idea of that. You know what? We're going to break that so we can have the jump panel next turn. And then honestly, I say we just wait for that one. Bowser, on the other hand, is definitely going to probably start making his way down here. Because for the most part, he's pretty safe. But for the most part, at the current moment, we should probably try and figure out a way of how we want to move and everything. And I think probably setting up some Rabbid Mecha Koopas for the villain sight of the Lone Wolf over here may be a good idea. Just because, let's be honest here, they do trigger villain sight, so they'll leave us alone for the most part. Which is probably a good thing. Let's be honest here, you never honestly know. So being careful is always a good thing. Just because you never honestly know what an enemy's going to do until they do it. And honestly, just in case, just so this doesn't get blown up somehow, I'm going to move this, over here-ish. Just because then I feel like the Rabbid Mecha Koopas aren't going to randomly do something weird. I could actually go along the lines of start to, mess with the Rabbid Mecha Koopas to deal with the enemies, too, which is also an idea. I'm going to say we can probably send in 3 on this Squasha over there. And then for the most part, we can leave maybe a couple of them over here for us to kind of mess with. Because I don't mind having these guys with me, to be completely fair. And then we'll just give ourselves the maximum movement for edge. And then honestly, after that, I think we're pretty good here. We could let Bowser move a little further, which is an option too. Although, where do we really want to go with Bowser? That's really the real question, because there's a depleter over there. It looks like he's going to get a free shot on me if I let him. So we should probably stay further out of range. I could, per se, maybe move over by the hedge, maybe? Yeah, we might be able to do something along that line. Although that guy is going to be able to go through this pipe over here, this depleter. So maybe staying out of view would be the best thing. I'm going to say, right here. I kind of like that. Because then we have view blocking of the Lone Wolf up there. The Squashette's going to make their way over. The depleter over here may get in range, but for the most part, it's just one enemy that can see us. So it might end up working better if we do it that way, to be fair. So it's definitely, something we can try. But then I definitely say we should probably end our turn there. That's definitely not a bad turn. I'm just curious on... Oh, they're focusing the... Interesting. Okay. That's a very interesting movement, just because I wasn't ready for them to, do something along those lines, but they did it. Huh. Okay, then. Interesting. So, instead of going for the ones closer to him, they ended up getting rid of the one that was further away. Huh. Okay, then. Well, this will get rid of his villain sight, So we lost our... Well, actually, that hit me, too, actually. Interesting. Oh, by being next to this potion concoction, it actually, when it blew up on top of it, and it actually did damage to me. Interesting. That's very interesting. Huh. I wonder why that is. Just because I didn't think that could hit me, to be fair. But interesting, though, nonetheless. Just because it's not something you really think about. But let's throw this potion over here. Obviously break open another little chunk of the area that we need. And now we just need to get one more of those dams opened. Don't know if that's going to complete the mission by doing so. But I do definitely say that getting another one of those down is definitely a good thing. But so far so good. It does look like this, when you throw the potions, this person got thrown out of range. So they actually went flying. And actually, oh, I see what it did. Oh, that's what it's doing. So this area was completely covered before. Because I remember seeing this guy inside the water over here, where there was like a jump panel. So that's what it's actually doing. It's closing up certain parts of the map. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I didn't realize that before, just because we didn't get to, go that far yet. So, obviously we wouldn't get to see that unless the enemy was doing that for us. But, let's see here, what kind of enemies are in our range at the current moment? We have Dark Mess, thing over there where Rabbid Rosalina is. We can probably get rid of that. I say that we probably should, just in case, because that'll open up this pipe for her to be able to go in a little bit further. And honestly, from there, we might be able to use this to our benefit just a slight bit. Because obviously, one, we can get right to where the rest of the team is, while also kind of preparing for whatever we want to do. Because there is a lone wolf up there. There's a concoction down there, which is interesting. Wonder why that's down there. When we got blown up, did that, get thrown over there? Because I have a feeling it did. Okay then, interesting. But we have two concoctions over there. We can either go left side or we can go right side here. Right side takes us closer to where we want to go, but left side has more enemies that we need to kind of maybe get rid of. Okay. Well, there is an option here that I see to dash into this enemy a couple times. And maybe, just maybe, yep, we can get a hold of it. Cool. Okay, so we have the concoction now. Although, what do we want to do with it is the real question. Because we have options. We definitely have options. We can go through this pipe over here. Actually, yeah, we could do that, actually. Oh, I see why the concoction's over here. Because of this jump panel that's blocked over here. That's why that's there. Okay, so it was there the whole time, I just didn't realize it. Okay. Other than that, definitely an interesting bit of map left, though. Other than that. But, I'm gonna say, we definitely want to get rid of the enemies behind us. I think that's probably a good idea. So, put you to sleep first. That's definitely a good idea. We could spawn in an user, which might be a pretty good idea as well. So I think we'll do it like this, because I think the enemy will get targeted, the one in front of us. I'm not entirely, no, it's going that way instead. Well, maybe we'll go for, well, he took away his weapons. I guess that's fine. That works, I guess. That's not too bad. I was thinking that was going to go differently, to be fair. But it's not that bad, honestly. But Bowser, I kind of think that Bowser should maybe team jump off of Edge here. I have a pretty good feeling that we want to maybe be up here for the extra vision, because one, obviously we can start messing around with this guy, and then obviously slowly but surely start dealing with the rest of the enemies on the map. But I definitely say getting rid of him first is a good idea. Other than that, Bowser, what do you really want to do, buddy? Because you have a couple options, for sure. But I definitely say... Actually, wait a minute, I have a really good idea. What we could do, per se, is we can jump off this jump panel here. I'm going to try and give myself the most movement we can possibly get here. Because I have an idea. Because we do have the ability to team jump still. So maybe team jumping off of Bowser might be a pretty good idea here. Because I might be able to do something pretty interesting if I can. Yeah, that's definitely good. but is that where I want to go? Good question. I'm gonna say getting the depleter here first might be a smart idea, because he is asleep. We have 100% crit, so making sure he's down is a safe thing. But honestly, jumping off of Bowser seems like a pretty smart idea here, because we are invisible. So taking Ethereal and using the bonuses here might be a good idea. You never honestly know. Okay, let's put our potion down for a second, obviously to do another dash. And I think we might be able to, we can go for the final dam here. Do we do it though? I'm going to say we'll wait a turn on that, because we don't know what's going to happen once we do destroy it. So let's probably make a safety measure just in case, because you honestly never know. And honestly, I feel safer waiting a second, because the thing is some maps don't instantly finish when you complete their missions. So I don't know if it's going to be like a survive or something like that, because we've had that before where we had to survive after, you know, finishing something. So maybe we should get everybody in like a closer proximity to each other before we do destroy that, because you never honestly know. I don't know for sure if we're completely done with the map or not, but they're definitely starting to spawn stuff on top of us now, so we do need to be very careful. Also, I wonder if this user is going to get that. Apparently not. Barely almost, though. Almost really close, but not close enough, sadly. But that doesn't mean that we don't get the enemy. That definitely does not mean that. So all we need to do here for Bowser, obviously smash you in. Well, that didn't work in the way that I was wanting it to, but that doesn't mean that we can't still team jump off of Bowser to get what we currently do need out of that. But not bad so far. I'm going to say definitely envy for putting Mr. Depleter to sleep, so he doesn't try and do any counter blow things or try and lifesteal off of us in between turns. Get rid of this little portal here, just in case, because if we do need to survive, having a portal away from Edge is probably the safest thing in the end of the day, because you honestly never know. But other than that, we have a couple options here, and one of those is definitely Bowser doing something. Not sure what yet, but I am very curious. Oh, oops. Well, apparently smashing on top of that actually breaks that. Well, you learned something new. Oops. Well, since I feel like we're definitely close enough now, let's set up Regenesis, and I think we can go for the final dam now, and try and see what happens when we do break it, because I'm not sure if it completes the map or not, and that's why I'm being very careful. Because, like I said, previous maps have had some interesting, like, clear conditions once you actually go through with something. So, if it goes... Oh, okay, well apparently we could have just thrown it at it. Okay, I was thinking that there was maybe going to be like a survive afterwards, but apparently not, and we did that perfectly. And actually, we could have finished it in one turn less if we really wanted to. Huh, okay, well I'll take it. Not bad. Pretty interesting idea with the use of water to rise up some of the water levels in certain areas to completely mess with the enemy's movements, and actually technically push them out of bounds to the point where they lose HP for being in those areas. It's actually pretty cool. But battle cleared, and let's be honest here, another Dark Mess Tentacle down, meaning we should be completed with the world now, I would think, because, you know, now that we have the Purified Dark Mess Crystal, well, let's be honest here, the next world is officially unlocking, I'm pretty sure. Although, I'm very curious on what it's going to be, based on the fact that everything has been based off of the seasons. So, what is this final, like, world before Cursa Stronghold gonna be? Because, how do you go off of that? That's actually what I'm really curious about, to be completely fair. But, I guess we'll find out very soon, that's for sure. And just like that, the melt spout that was once dormant is now, well, back in working order. And the planet is definitely looking a lot better than it did before. Well, and honestly, well, the Everbloom tree is definitely gonna be blooming once again. Because, it wasn't blooming, it was budded up before. So now that it has the extra water that it needs, well, let's be honest here, everything's definitely gonna be fine now. But let's see how the Queen Bee is doing, and see what's going on. Oh, the air is sweet, and the Everbloom lives up to its name once more. Yeah, I guess it does. And also I like how the Rabbids' little heads actually bloomed up as well, which is pretty cool. Honey sweeties, there's a galaxy of pent-up emotions out there, and we're behind on flower orders. All previously approved vacation requests are cancelled. Well, looks like the Rabbids don't mind that one, I guess. I thought they would probably go on an uprising for that one. Apparently not. As for you, if any of you get married, go to prom, or win a beauty pageant, my flowers are for yous. Okay, thanks. And it looks like Edge is thinking about that one, based on how she kind of changed her position based on that. That won't be necessary, I hope, but there is one thing. Would you recommend a reliable mechanic? Maybe Sullivan? Our ship is going to need some heavy firepower if we're going to breach Cursa's hideouts. True. And there he is. I was thinking so. And based on, love, we already saw that Sullivan and Genie were, some kind of emotion is being portrayed obviously from Sullivan, but Genie's starting to understand it, based on the Sullivan's despair mission, as well as obviously everything to do between the two characters. But, well, let's be honest here, it was kind of a hint from B there, to be completely fair. Oh, my magnanimous, haunted Genie, if only I could minister to your every need, but alas, this goes beyond even my talents. Thou must seeketh the fair and delicate Mama, flower of Berendale Mesa, and a mechanical genius, most rare. Mama, you say? Berendale Mesa? So that's our next world, then? We have just enough purified darkness energy to create a working tunnel to our location, too. Well, that's good to hear. So we know exactly where we're going next. Farewell, Genie. Though it grinds my heart to butter, paste, you cannot be grounded, but must fly free, as a whippoorwill. A whippoorwill? Okay, well, interesting word there, buddy. Oh, Sullivan, I believe I shall miss you. You'll meet him again. Him, Mama, you say, great. We'll let you get back to your railroad then. Shall we? Shall we indeed? So, Mama, I'm guessing that's maybe the warden of this Berendale Mesa place? That sounds about right to me, but interesting. I'm kind of surprised they're telling us about the warden before going on the planets. Unless maybe she isn't a warden, and she's like Sullivan, where it felt like he was a warden when we first got here because we met him immediately, but he ended up not being one. But Uncork the Volcano has now been complete, 2 of 2 purified darkness crystals now collected, and level 26 for our efforts. Not bad, not bad. And let's see what's going on with her real quick before we do go anywhere else. That Cursa ruins everything. What's she running now?
Please be wary of Cursa. When you find her, fill your day with sheer boutonniere. Will put an end to her insatiable thirst for suffering of others.
Yeah, definitely based on what we've seen. She literally crushed those sparks into a paste for what seemed to literally power her heart of some sort. I'm not sure if it was her heart or just power source entirely, but it was in the middle of her chest, and it was like a cracked star piece from what we saw in that cutscene when we did, when we saw the final Spark Hunter that we haven't met yet. Although we saw them very shortly after beating Bedrock, but definitely interesting though. For sure. Some new stuff opened up. The Warrior and the Windbag. Okay then. So the Windbag is obviously Rabbid Mario. We saw this Spark quest over by the opening for, obviously, just in general, we saw the Druid when we were walking through here earlier in the last episode, just for a small second, because obviously he was holding on to a Spark. But the quest for Courage, a couple new things, but not a lot of things though, from what I can see, which is interesting. Okay. Well, not a lot of things are opened up. Kinda interesting, isn't that? Does that mean we're pretty much almost done with the world then? Oh yeah, 82%. Jeez, okay. We have done a lot of the world already. What about the gateway? We don't see anything to do with the gateway stuff, which is weird. So I'm guessing there's no gateway in this map. That's interesting. Just because there's been a gateway in every single world. But in this one, it looks like there might not be one. Unless maybe there, maybe? I'm not really sure. There was a place I know I couldn't get to before, which I believe was... Where was that? I don't see it on the map. It's not easy to find it, based off of mapping. But there was an area that was blocked via water before. Here it is. This place right here. And that's definitely filled up by now, because of the fact that we saw the rainwater filling up puddles. So that might lead to something too. Although, it seems like it only leads to this mission over here. It's kind of weird that there's no gateway here, though. Interesting. Well, I think first things first, we could either go to the secret zone, or we can maybe make our way to the Druid that we saw. Which I think we should probably do first, honestly. Just because he definitely seems like a pretty interesting dude. And, honestly, we did have a memory about the Druids that we did unlock. And, well, did say they were somewhat important to this world. So it's definitely worth a check just in case, because you never honestly know. But we should probably pin that on our map just in case. Just because then it won't give us any information that we might need to know before we do get over there. Because at the current moment, well, let's be honest here, all we know is it's over there, and we don't really know what they're going to want us to do yet. Although, he did have a spark that looked like it might be... Honestly, it looked green, so I'm thinking it's ooze. And the thing is, we've only had one ooze-based spark, being the Oozequake. So it would be definitely nice to be able to get another spark. So how to remove this thorn? Good question, buddy. So his name is Alchamentor. Living on a live volcano is surprisingly dull, unusually, yet now I am banished from my workshop by dark magic. Okay, we can try and help you out, buddy. The quest for courage. Okay, so what else? I've thought of scores of ideas for thorn removal. None of them are good. What about you, Mr. Spark? The one day I need to order a potion, and there's a thorn blocking the way. So he's a customer from the Druid. Okay, well, that should be pretty easy. Good tidings, warriors. Yes, good tidings. Please forgive me for having no hearth to receive you by... That's fine. Nor any refreshment of water mixed with salts and sulfur compounds. No, it's all good. It's all fine. You don't need to thank us in that way. Excuse me, Mr. Alchamentor, sir. I need a potion fast. What kind of potion, Mr. Spark? My cauldron was seized by dark magic. Nothing that enhances bone health or replenishes electrolytes brews there now. Replenishes electrolytes, that's not really a potion, that's more of like Gatorade, but sure. Oh, and he is an ooze-based one, because I see a toxic comments. So, we're finally getting a new ooze-based spark. Surprised we didn't get that beforehand with everything weak to ooze in this map. But, we'll definitely take it. Please? I want to fight the forces of Darkness, but I need a potion to make me brave. Well, you don't really need a potion, buddy. But, yeah, we can definitely help you. As you are in a hurry, I will need assistance from my new visitors here. If they can cleanse my cauldron from its corruption, then I will be able to help you. Well, we can definitely try. So, guessing there's probably a dark mess puddle somewhere in there then, based on what he's saying. Very well. You see the door to my laboratory. You may enter at will. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely head on in. Finally, the way is clear. I'm behindhand on orders, potions. Yay, we can go inside. After you. Okay, after us indeed. Let's make our way over to this Druid lair that we heard about via one of the memories that we unlocked. Because, let's be honest here, you definitely saw it, but we haven't seen it, physically yet. Because, obviously, it was all via memory. But interesting little place, though. Pretty cool looking. Definitely some magical areas here. And also a little bit of a vine growth thing there. Pretty cool. What is that behind the dark mess puddle over here? Because, that definitely looks interesting. Also, Bowser's face.
I'm not drinking anything from this guy's lab. I don't care how photographable it is.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good. But darkness in the cauldron. Clear on the darkness in the cauldron. Okay, we can definitely try. Vile puddle. I will have to clean and sanitize my entire production facility. Laboratory. I hope Alchementer sanitizes his cauldron before he uses it next. Honestly, for your sake, me too, buddy. But dark mess in the cauldron, here we go. Actually, he is a toxic-based spark, so technically it wouldn't really affect him, but interesting looking map already. Okay then, defeat all, so it's not protecting this middle cauldron area, because I felt like that was going to be the case for a second there. But defeat all enemies. 13 enemies. Okay, that doesn't seem too hard. Okay. Well, first things first is obviously turbocharge. No reason not to. Maybe we'll get an action point back. Nope. Not the 25%, sadly. What's with these little things here? Hello. Oh, it's a balloon full of, electric. Okay, that's cool. Interesting. Okay, what was weak to electric here? Because we might want to use these to our best, use. Depleters are weak to electric. So, we want to throw these right, then, based on what we can see here. Okay. Interesting. So, obviously, we want to toss this. Well, I guess we could just toss it at all of them, because it still does something to them. So I guess we'll try it, just see what we can do. Not bad. It's definitely worth going for sure. And honestly, since all these enemies are bunched up the way they are, this is a free vamp dash, bonanza right here, honestly. So it's definitely worth going for, as long as we do it right. That's a knockout on you. And then we might be able to... Actually, I have an idea. I should have a dash cookie in here. I think we should probably go along the lines of using that real quick, because more dashes means more damage. Other than that... So we can't go invisible because we didn't get an action point back. So we need to be careful about that one. Anyone in range of... So we have the Ooze and the Gust here. We should probably make sure on who's weak to Gust. You're weak to Gust. And then this guy was Ooze, right? Yeah, okay, so Magicians are for Ooze. So we'll take this guy here. And honestly, it seems like we're definitely along the lines of maybe wanting to push you out of bounds with this. Because that's how the Gust one works. So if we can get it, didn't get it, but we did push him out of range into an area where we can easily blast away at him. And then obviously drop this on the Magician, giving him a nice little poisonous hue. And then honestly for you, we can actually get rid of you too, actually. So let's spawn one of our oozers right next to you. Since, let's be honest here, having extra help is definitely pretty good. Although he did go into a spot where it might not help him, but he did kind of take some of their abilities away. So maybe it's a good idea that we did that the way that we did. Although, let's see here. definitely seems like we should be careful with our next movement here. Who was the one that was able to take our stuff away? It was the Oozers that can do it. But this guy can put up the shields. So we might want to do that as well. I want to make sure we do this right, because we don't want to be kind of like negated out of doing things. But I also think that we should be careful with our movements at the same time. But I definitely say, let's get rid of the Oozer. That's completely in a free zone of us hitting him. Not bad. Okay, pretty good. Definitely knock out both of these guys, I think. I think it's probably pretty safe to do so. Although, where do we want to go after that? Because we want to be in a place where we can't be hit from. That guy's right behind us, so being there is not really safe. We could be here, which doesn't look too bad, honestly. We could probably work with that. Although, Bowser's definitely in a weird spot, where a lot of enemies could probably hit him if we're not careful. But if we are careful, we should be perfectly fine. Interesting. There's definitely a lot of options here, for sure. But I do think probably along the lines of maybe being here-ish, and then maybe... That doesn't look too bad. We can go Bazooka there, but it only hits one of them. We could go for the guy behind me, too. That doesn't sound like a bad idea either, to be completely fair. Interesting. Definitely some options here. We're not really dealing with the other side of the map much, so maybe going for this guy early might be a smart idea. And we got a crit. 1,000 damage right away is pretty good. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad, but I do think we need to end turn now. And then hope that we're safe here, because at the current moment we're not sure what the enemies are going to try. Bowser... Nope, they're going for Rosalina instead. Okay, well that could have been much worse. But thankfully, not bad. Because honestly, I'm more wanting them to go after the Oozer right now than any of my allies. Because my allies are definitely in range of being blasted quite heavily if we're not careful. So, hopefully they... Okay, they didn't go for Rosalina there, because Rosalina was taking a beating there, to be fair. So thankfully that did not go as bad as I thought it was. It also spawned another one of these gust balloons. Interesting. Okay, well, I have an idea. We're going to go up here. Although this doesn't heavily affect you right away, it does break your shield. So that might be worth it. So I think we're definitely going to do that. Just so, one, they lose their shield, then they can't really use it. And now we just need to figure out how to deal with enemies for the current moment. Because honestly, at the current moment, we just need to really worry about where we want to go and what we want to do. And also, I see an idea here. We can grab one of these balloons and maybe take it with us when we go up there, which may be a good idea. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to say we're probably going to go this way, because I feel safer, because we'll definitely make it up here this way than the other way around. So, just in case, you never honestly know. So, double checking our surroundings is probably a good idea. But honestly, now that we're over here, see if I can toss this at both of these enemies. Because I'm pretty sure we should be able to, as long as we do it right. They both have shields, though, so it doesn't really help us out too much. But we could, per se, dash into both of them, and then we can throw it. Because then it'll do full damage. So, honestly, probably pretty good. There we go. Not bad at all. And then we could go for a knockout on you. We still have a little bit of movement left. But, in the current moment, I think turning Ethereal now, with Edge, would do us the best possible. Just in general. And then obviously I think we can maybe, yeah, we can go Flying Blade on both of those. So, not bad. Definitely not bad at all. But definitely an interesting turn though, for sure. We can grab this electric thing here. This guy is weak to shock, so we should probably do a little bit of that to him. Thankfully Edge doesn't need to really worry about that. But definitely not bad. Definitely could be much worse. Like Rosalina is at the moment. She's in a really weird spot right now, to be fair. But, let's see. We have a lot of options here. We might be able to No, I'm not really sure on that one. Because the thing is I definitely want to go for a heal of some sort. Although, the thing is how do we want to do the heal is the real question. Because what we can do is obviously dash into one enemy like this guy over here, but the thing is he's just out of range. Which is a little unfortunate. So we can't really go for that specifically. We could, however, put these two to sleep, which is definitely probably a good idea. Because the thing is we want to make sure that none of these enemies have the chance of going like full crazy mode on us if we let them. Because the thing is I need to make sure certain enemies aren't going to be moving here in a second. We can maybe almost knock out you. Interesting. Although you do have a shield on you, which makes things a little bit harder to do. And you're still pretty close to me, too. Okay. Well, there's also the other guy over there as well that we need to be careful about. But, for the most part, I'm going to say probably making our way back to the other side of the map might be a good idea now. Because now we're in a safety zone, I feel like. So as long as we make ourselves, like, really, really hard to get to, we should be perfectly fine to be safe enough from any kind of enemies that decide to chase me down here in a second. And this guy is pretty much done for as long as we go for him. So honestly, go for him, honestly. Rosalina, use your little rainbow Fruit Loops and go for a free knockout there. Because it's not too bad. But there's still an enemy we need to deal with here in a second, if we get the ability to do so. Because the thing is this guy is definitely within range of attacking us. Only thing is I don't think we really have a way of going for any kind of safety. But we might be able to do something, though, if we do it right. Because I do have an idea. Although, how do we do it is the real question. I'm gonna definitely say we could go along the lines of jumping over from both of these panels. And hopefully don't waste my thank you. I was a little worried there for messing up my ground pound there. Thankfully we still got it. Then we could go for a knockout on you. Okay. We have a couple options here. One is definitely sending in the Rabbid Mecha Koopas. Because, let's be honest here, no reason not to. Bunch of damage as well. The thing is I need to make sure that this guy goes down. That is the top priority right now. Only thing is will this do enough damage? Because the thing is once the Bowser goes for an attack here, that's when... Okay, 1,200 damage. So... Interesting. Well, you can go for 1,035 damage, but that's not going to be enough to really do much there. Okay, well, interesting. Well, we could still go for a blast on you, and hey, we might get a crit out of it. But the thing is if Bowser is out in the middle of the open area here, maybe they'll go for Bowser instead. You never know. And Rosalina is still in a safety zone, for the most part. So if they don't go for Rosalina, like that, we're safe, which is good, because I was really worried there for a second, to be completely fair. Okay, now that that's done, now we don't have to worry as badly, because that was what I was worried about. I was worried what was going to happen. So now that we know that we're safe from going down like that, let's definitely get this guy out of the map completely. Probably dashing him is probably the best thing. And then, honestly, now we can start figuring out. Because now that we're done on this side of the map, we're safe to make our way over to Rosalina now. Where we can start slowly but surely deal with the other side of the map. Make sure we don't waste our ground pound. Because the game will definitely waste it if we don't jump correctly. So, making sure we drop correctly is always a good thing. But so far, not bad. Although still not in range of where we want to go yet. Okay, so if I were to jump off Bowser, how far can we possibly go? Almost to the pipe. Okay, well Bowser was probably where Edge is right now. We probably could make it to the pipe for sure. So I'm going to say that's probably what we should do. Although, is Bowser not able to do a turbocharge yet? Okay, well, we can work with that. We can definitely work with it. But I think being up here and able to help Rosalina just a slight bit might do us some good. For sure. Definitely for sure. Although, how do we want to do this? Is the real question. So we have a couple options for sure. Although, I think making Rosalina go through here first might be the start of that. And I think probably going for some lifesteal right now might be the best possible solution of what we can do. So put you to sleep, for sure, so we can get the max damage out of you, and thankfully knock you out as well, so have some purple Fruit Loops. We'll definitely take what we can get, so now Rosalina is a little bit more healthy. Okay, not bad. Okay, I see an option here that I'm really liking the idea of, so I might actually end up taking it. So I see an idea of doing a multi-dash here, and a vamp attack. So I think we'll definitely go for that. So vamp dash and extra little bit, and we also can still go for a weapon too. So we got a really good idea here, which is pretty good. Because then we can easily go for both of those guys, drop them completely. And now, just start messing around with Mr. User over here. And honestly, from there, we just need to figure out a way to really start messing around with these enemies here. But I think probably putting Bowser about here is pretty good, because Bowser is kind of like away from the action at the moment, where he doesn't really need to worry. The only thing is what is the user going to do? Thankfully not take away my capabilities of doing stuff, which is good, because it could definitely do that if it wanted to. Let's see how far we can get Bowser. Looks like we can get him, well, right to where we need him to be. Cool. And then drop one of these little gust bombs on top of him, throw him out of the map. And I think this is over and done with. And the cauldron is now completely ours. Sorry, buddies, but you gotta try harder than that if you want to get us. That's for sure. But down goes another map. Not bad, not bad. And we also got a lore book for Alchementer, too. So there's one of our lore books that we were missing. One's definitely going to be from the Edge and Rabbid Mario thing. And then I think the last one is out in the middle of the opening area, too. So we're able to easily get all the final memories for this world, too. Yes. You truly are warriors. Well, that's good to hear. Thanks, Mr. Alchementer. They did it. You can brew a potion. That'll make me braver now, right? Maybe. I guess we'll find out, because it looks like we opened up something behind the dark mess there. If I didn't know better, I would say I already had. Now with the puddle out of the way, the real work must now begin. I wonder if you do me the honor of crafting a tincture to cure our craven friend. The recipe is simple, but beware, one flaw, one misstep, and the outcome could prove most distasteful. The recipe is on the blackboard. Though it is in code, my competitors would love to steal and mass-produce it as their own. Okay, so like the secret KFC recipe, basically, is what I'm getting out of that one. Okay. The symbols will tell you which ingredients should be used on which flame. You must find the correct order. Okay, interesting. So correct order of blue and green there. Okay. Simple and easy, I guess. One mistake such as a wrong ingredient or the wrong flame, and you'll need to start from scratch. The inventory cost will rise. Inventory cost, you say? We can do it. Right, guys? Yeah, we could probably. I guess we'll find out. But let's see what's going on with this Alchementer lore real quick, just because I am curious. So, Alchementer. We met the last of the Druids of Terra Florum, heir to all their research and knowledge gleaned from Meltspout's mysterious mineral spring water. The Druids of old had reputations as makers of powerful potions, yet this one seems more inclined to fuse spring water with delicious fruit combinations. Whether it is to fund more important work, or to prove that 0 calories doesn't mean 0 taste, I cannot know. Okay. Interesting. Okay then. Interesting. So, other than that, anything else we should look into? Follow my recipe carefully. And then you. I'm sorry to rush you, but will you, but we'll have that recipe figured out soon. Or will you have that recipe figured out soon? I'm anxious to get going. We'll definitely try. But other than that, we didn't get that other spark. We didn't actually ever figure out what Pulsar did we? I'm very curious about him. So let's see here. Allies within range are revived with 30% of their max HP. Oh. Ooh, really? So we have a reviving one now. We don't have a character that can revive. So this is actually really interesting. Okay. Interesting. So, obviously increase the healing we get, but as well as increase the regen amount of when you are revived. Could be good. Could very much be good. Okay, we'll definitely look at that later. Just because, at the current moment, we don't need to worry about that. Definitely interesting, though. So we have blue and green. Okay, well, oh, I did not mean to toss that. But let's see here. So, either green can go for purple, or blue can go to blue or green, is what I'm understanding. So we'll try purple and green real quick, and see what that does for us. Okay, that's a no. So definitely not purple with green. So we need to put it to green for green. And I'm gonna guess it can't be the same on both flames, is what I'm gonna understand there. So green to green. And then obviously blue to blue would be what I understand there, because I don't think they're going to let us put blue and green together there, because that wouldn't really make much sense. Okay. Okay, so far so good. What happens if we mess up here? Because I am curious. Does it reset it completely like it said? Oh no, that was right. But that shouldn't have been. Unless, what did I throw in there? No, I threw in purple. Okay then. Well, that's weird. I'm surprised that worked. Let's throw in the other one there, just because I am curious. Okay, well, that didn't do much. But if I forcefully change the flame... Okay, so we don't go all the way back. Okay, that was what I was wanting to know. I'm wondering, because green went to green, will purple go to purple? Okay, purple goes to purple, it looks like. We'll see if blue goes to green now. Because I have a feeling this might work. It's definitely based off the, current, ones that it can possibly go to. Okay, so it's definitely not that one. Okay, so let's go to blue now, since it definitely seems like blue is maybe where blue wants to go to blue, and purple wants to go to purple, maybe. Or it could go to yellow as well. But I will definitely see what we can do here. Just because it seems like it might be the same colors of what it is. Yep, still the same colors. Okay. So blue to blue, purple to purple. Okay. Yellow crystal can go to yellow or blue. Green crystal can go to green or purple. Purple can go to purple or yellow. Okay. Well, let's go to yellow first. I'm going to say, just in case. So we'll start with yellow, okay, or what would be red, because that's a red flame, and then toss in yellow to yellow, maybe, and go from there, okay, and then it looks like purple would be next, under normal circumstances, since everything seems to be based off the colors that they are, so obviously just go in a row here to make it green. Okay, if that is indeed how it is, then that's going to be easy. And it does seem like that is it. So it's just based off the wheel. Okay. So, let's see here. Yellow can go to... Green can go to blue. Blue can go to yellow. So we start with green then. Okay. This is definitely easy if this is how this is. So obviously green there. Obviously take it to blue to make it to the next one. This is an easy puzzle. If this is really what we're doing, that's actually very simple. Because it looks like it would be hard if you look at it the way that they give it to you, but it's actually very simple. Well, okay, well that ended up being a lot more easier than it really looked to be like it was gonna be. because that looked way more imposing than it really looked like it was going to end up being. But that was actually pretty easy. Interesting. Just because, you just follow the color wheel, and then you get your answer. Huh, okay. That was, very simple. But cool, though. I like the idea of the puzzle, because it's very easy to, figure it out once you understand what you're doing. And we found it out pretty quickly. But let's see what's going on here. Point me at the forces of Darkness. I want to look them right in the eyes. We'll definitely help you out there, buddy. We'll definitely try. Why don't you come with us, at least until you cool down a little? Yeah, you should probably head with us, buddy. I'll cool down once I get me some answers from those evil doers around the galaxy. Well, first things first is you're coming with us. There's no way you're running off without us. But, looks like he is.
Alchemator, did you know this chemical composition of your courage potion is identical to blackberry mineral water?
Probably. Is that so, fairy spirits? Well, there's nothing that says magic can't be effervescent and flavorful. Fair.
Or all in one's mind, perhaps?
Both. We'll go with both. The secrets exchanged at the crossroads of science and magic are not mine to reveal. Now, who's up for some vitamin-infused sparkling lemongrass water? Edge's face. I like how Bowser and Rosalina are just like, okay. Edge is actually taking it a lot more seriously, looks like. But that definitely does sound pretty good, though. But Quest for Courage, now complete. And we should have our new Spark as well. Yep, Tox Comet has now joined our team, now giving us a actual toxic ooze-based, Spark that we can actually use. So let's see here. Yep, exactly like the fire one, Pyrostar. So cool, we'll definitely take you, buddy, because that will definitely come in handy later. Because you honestly never know. So, cool, thank you. What about Purple Mangosteen and Rose Apple? That sounds pretty good. But, sorry, buddy. Doesn't look like our team wants any of that. But definitely does not sound bad, for sure. Definitely doesn't sound bad at all. I do say what we can do is actually, we can go and do our secret zone, I think, now. Because, well, let's be honest here, we can easily do it, so, you know what? Let's do it. I'm kind of curious what kind of blueprint will end up being in there. Because the thing is the gleaming weapons now appear inside the secret zones. So, well, let's be honest here, obviously I'll have to do the time-based version of it, but the thing is I'm more worried about what kind of spark we're going to get out of it, to be completely fair. Just because, well, let's be honest, we've only went into those secret zones for the sparks, but the skins are always pretty cool. And also, I'm wondering if Palette Prime's secret, 100%, because it's been based off of the newer characters where the 100% are coming from. So I'm wondering, since it went from Edge to Rosalina, I'm wondering if the Gleaming Bazooka is tied to Palette Prime. That would be pretty cool, because you never honestly know. But with the secret zone now unlocked, let's go and see what's hiding behind this next door here. And it could be another one of those Master Sparks, too. That's always an option. Although we did get the Oozer nope, that's definitely not a Master Spark. But that is a Cryo Dash, I believe. Because I see a little bit of, ice coming off his little cloud there. Interesting. So, Frozen Dash. Okay. And also, no enemies on this one. This one's 100% a puzzle-based one. So, let's see here. Obviously, push that over. Nope, it goes down. Okay. Well, it's definitely turning this on is what we need, because there's a little purple, dusty road there that we need to figure out how to go to. But, first things first is figuring out how to actually turn that on. Looks like there is a little thing back here that we can turn off and on. It turns off all the other bridges, though, that we could possibly use. We do have this bridge over here. We can drop this area, though, or no, raise it, to give us access to this area. Although, does that really help us, though? Kinda. It gives us a block of some sort. that we can take with us. So let's definitely grab this and see what we can do with it, because I'm not really sure what we're going to be using it for. But I do need to take it with me. But it looks like, no, I need to push it down. Okay, so now that's down there. So far, puzzle seems simple, but I'm also kind of confused at the same time, to be fair. Just because, well, we need to open up certain things, it looks like, in order to go to where we want to go. But it does look like we need to bring this block all the way back here. Because obviously there's a little bit of a scratch mark on the floor here, telling us we definitely want to bring it over here. Okay, well that's there now. It looks like we definitely need to make our way down to the bottom area, and then figure out what's going on down here. Looks like there's a little pathway for us over here. There is a block that we definitely need to drop over here, so we know where this thing's going now. Cool, cool, cool. You're coming with me, buddy. We know definitely where to drop you now. And it looks like it's probably that pathway, yep, right next to the block over there where the little square is. Perfect. Okay, good. So now that that's in place, let's go and grab our square. And now we need to figure out where the square goes. I think we saw it earlier, didn't we? Well, I see where it opens, but I don't see exactly where we want to put it, though, to be fair. Okay. Well, we could bring this down, maybe, or bring it up, and then figure out from there where everything goes. Because honestly, we did lose complete access to this bottom area, so we don't have this ladder anymore capable for us. The other side of it, yeah, but we can't bring anything up from there. But we can, per se, drop this here, and maybe, just maybe, send it upwards, which I think is what we want to do. So send that all the way up, and then we'll go and pick it up once we get to the top. Because the thing is, well, we have complete access to it up here, so, well, let's be honest here, it's definitely coming with us up here. Okay, well now that we have the block, we have a couple options now here. We can send that down, but probably shouldn't have done that, just because we don't know where this is really going yet. It's right here, okay. We need to open up triangle. Triangle? Where's triangle? I haven't seen anything triangle. Huh, okay. Interesting. Well, there's something for a pathway over there. So as long as we turn that open, we should be able to make our way over there at least somewhat. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do with this. We did open up this pathway, so we are getting something out of this. Although I'm not really sure where this triangle piece is, though. Just because, yeah, I haven't seen anything triangle-like. Unless it's invisible somewhere. Which could be the case. You never honestly know. But it seems like whatever triangle is connected to, it's definitely not visible to us at the current moment. Unless it's down there somewhere. But, interesting. Okay then, that's odd. Weird. Okay, well, so far I don't see it, but that doesn't mean that it's nowhere nearby, for sure. We can move, there it is. Okay, so we're missing a block, is what that's saying. But where is the block, though? Because we already moved this block from here. Unless maybe we have to reset because we did it wrong? It could be an option, but the thing is you need to put that block down there to get this piece. So, okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. I could, per se, maybe do something along the lines of, well, let's see here, what can go here, exactly? Because it looks like this goes back and forth for sure, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing around that we can't use to our benefits, per se. Well, if I were to stand on this, per se, what can I do with this? Not a lot. Definitely, for sure. Definitely not a lot. But that doesn't mean that we have nothing capable. It's more of like along the lines of what is really available to us from this area. And it definitely does not look easy at the current moment. Unless there is indeed an invisible block somewhere, which it definitely seems like there could be. But the thing is it's not really making that obvious, just because we're not really seeing anything visible. So it definitely doesn't seem like a scan-based puzzle. Okay, weird. I might do a small cut just to see if I can find another block. Because I feel like there's definitely another block somewhere around here, but the thing is it's probably going to take me a couple seconds to find it, so I'll be right back and we'll figure this out here in a second, just because I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time trying to solve this puzzle, because there could be a block somewhere all the way down here for all I know, so it might take me a couple seconds, so BRB boys and girls. Okay, so it might have looked a little bit stupid there for a second, but the reason why is because, well, we haven't been able to actually move these blocks from the side before, from above. So, because there's a symbol above here, we actually can move this block. So, I was thinking we couldn't bring this guy back up to the other area. So, now that I explained myself, and also Bowser is being Bowser and getting stuck between blocks again, there we go. Now we can actually move these blocks, unlike how they were able to be moved beforehand. So that's why I didn't go back down for that other block earlier, just because I thought it was completely stuck down there. So there is only one block that we're supposed to be messing with, and that is this block specifically. So now that we know for sure what's going on there, and now that we fully understand the puzzle, because obviously that was not entirely my fault, because we've never dealt with blocks like this, where, as you see how that one doesn't have a thing on top, I'll show you guys exactly what I mean, just because some people might not understand what I'm meaning. So you see how this doesn't have a symbol on top? It can be moved. So, because this has a symbol on top, we can move it from being on top of it. So, that's why I didn't get it right away, because, well, it's not been something we could do like that before. And now we have that capability, so now we're able to do that. But we weren't able to do it before. So, it caught us off guard 100%, because that wasn't supposed to be, you know, how that was supposed to work before. Also, I'm waiting for that little gate there to break down, because those things do not like me sometimes. But let's see here. From other than there, the only thing now that we have to do is get this block up there. So now that that's open, well, it's definitely drop this here, and then send that up. So that's 100% what we do there. We send this over as well, so we can get over to it. And obviously, from here, honestly, it looks like we just drop it onto the block with the ladder, and then send it on over, for the most part. And then this puzzle is pretty much done, though, from there. Pretty simple, from, like, after understanding about there actually being movable blocks from the top, because, like I said, that was never been a thing before, so now that we do understand that, it's an easy puzzle from here. But there we go. Another one of those down. Another one of those gates are... Now I'm freaking out. I'm waiting for it to despawn, because when those things are raging like that, it actually drops frames, which is a little unfortunate. And it's not my computer or my Switch or anything like that. It's just, for some reason, the particles from that just freaks this game out completely, which is a little unfortunate. But now that we did that, all we need to do now is just make our way back, move over good old ladder block, and then, honestly, climb up to victory. And honestly, get ourselves another secret zone spark. Although I'm not really sure how this one's going to be that good, because a cryo dash, I don't know how that's really going to help us. Because usually these have been pretty good, but this seems like something that should have been given to us a long time ago. But, let's see. Hey, ready to go where, when you are. Well, let's definitely take you on with us, buddy. Oh no, it's a cryogeddon. Okay. It's not a dash, it is a raining cryo from the sky, like Electrogeddon and Pyrogeddon. Okay. So, I thought it was a dash, but no, it is actually good. Okay, we can definitely use this. You found me. I've been trying to get out of here for ages. Well, we found you, buddy, so you're coming on with us. And just like that, another secret zone complete. And first time we actually got kind of stumped there, just because there was some blocks that have never had that mechanic before. That, well, now we're dealing with, which is interesting, just because, like I said, they've never been able to do that before. And, well, I learned something new, because That was definitely something we couldn't do before. But with that being said, honestly, in the next episode, I think we're going to be already pretty much done with this world. We can take a quick look over here in the WM arc real quick and get an idea of maybe Barrendale Mesa real quick, as well as just see how much more planet coins are around this map. Because the thing is I think we're almost done here. We can obviously go back to Palette Prime and 100% complete the boss fight over there. So I think we'll definitely do that, but I am curious about this Barrendale Mesa place. Interesting. Okay. I'm kind of curious. It's definitely living up to the name though, Barrendale. So it definitely seems like kind of like desolate in a way. Interesting. Okay then. Other than that, 18 of 23. 23? You sure on that? It didn't look like there was 23 missions there. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 5 missions left. Maybe. There could be 25. I'm kind of surprised about that, honestly. Huh. Okay then. Just because it didn't look like there was 5 missions left. Just because what we saw, obviously the one that gives us our blueprint, the Cursa battle, is in there. Obviously we have the Magic Koopa for the giant Magic Koopa. Other than that, there's 3 here. So the other 2 have to be... Well, I didn't see a gateway. So gateway is not an option anywhere, because obviously there's nowhere where Madame Bostrella could possibly be. Because this is the trainway. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that is curious. I wonder where the other 2 are. They could be the secret ones. And if they are, I will definitely grab those in between episodes if I have to. Just because they'll be way too hard to find otherwise, to be completely fair, because this is a really, really big map. But with that being said, honestly, I think we'll more than likely be finishing up Terra Flora in the next one, which is kind of surprising. Usually, we have to do like a couple episodes to finish off a world, but, well, let's be honest here, we are more than likely only going to finish it in one, which is very interesting, because that's never been the case beforehand. But with that being said, we're definitely going to take on the giant depleter in Palette Prime in the next one for sure. So that's going to be interesting. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep being spooky. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.